places I've been, they don't feel like forever. But each step I'm taking, it seems like I'm finding myself. I've searched for gold and I've uncovered all kinds of treasure, but I'd take it all and I'd give it to somebody else, 'cause none of that means much. A little love would be enough. I'm on my way back home, and I know on the other side of the great unknown, there's a place I'm welcome in, there's a place I know I'm called a friend, there's a place that I'm never alone. There's a place called home, a place called home. Oh, I've walked for miles and I've traded my time for adventure. Yeah, I've seen the world and I know what it's got to give. Yeah, I've had some fun, but I know where I came from. I'm on my way back home, and I know on the other side of the great unknown, there's a place I'm welcome in, there's a place I know I'm called a friend, there's a place that I'm never alone. There's a place called home, a place called home. Oh, said I'm on my way back home. There's a place I'm welcome in, there's a place I know I'm called a friend, there's a place that I'm never alone. There's a place called home, a place called home. There's a place called home, a place called home. Home.
I wrote a song when I had nothing to say, like this one, this one. Follow the river to the edge of the sea. I kissed the water and it made me complete, like this one, this one. We experience death in life. We try to fly, we never let go. It's the only way, it's the only way. Broken hearts can love again. Over they go, over they go, over they go. can't think, I wanna believe. Woke up to find that I was stuck in a dream like this one. This one. I climbed a mountain and it taught me to breathe. I saw my life be on the top of a tree like this one. This one. We experience death in life. We try to fly, we never let go. It's the only way. It's the only way. Broken hearts can love again. Over they go. 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 And that's the funny thing about magic. You make one little wish and grab it, but they're still gonna take their half. Hearts are gonna break, so tragic. That's the funny thing about magic. You make one little wish and grab it, but they're still gonna take their half. Hearts are gonna break, so tragic.
It's time for the Mixin' and Chillin' vlog.
Even if they implemented some ridiculous laws, this is something that if somebody truly wants to do this, they can still do it. But it's going to take a lot of effort on the vapors' part to actually learn what it takes to make your own stuff.
I wouldn't change anything.
I don't know what the heck happened to the last hour of my life, but it certainly wasn't streamed on YouTube like I thought it was. Restrictive policies block progress towards smoke-free world. Many people incorrectly think that very little nicotine content cigarettes are less carcinogenic than current cigarettes. This risk misperception by people who smoke could reduce motivation to quit under a nicotine reduction policy.
That's a bit of a problem. Someone who specialises in helping people kick the habit is Dr. Colin Mendelsohn. He joins me now.
Look, vaping is a far less harmful alternative to smoking for adult smokers who just can't quit, and that's actually the majority of them.
The road to quitting smoking is paved with candy. Double chocolate clear from TFA. Published in the Vaping Post, we have long-term study. Vaping increases odds of quitting heavy smoking. This is Kenny Thompson, the Vaping Heed. He's got a YouTube channel. He's been on here a lot longer than I have. I'm not going to stop until this is legal and available for everyone. You know, I cover things from all around the globe, but that's because science has no boundaries.
I mean, you know, the FDA and everything would know that vaping is safer than smoking, but they'll have the pressure off the tobacco companies or the states that are on the MSA and all that. It's just a financial thing, and it's, and unfortunately that takes precedence against everything. And
All of the things we went through. You just made my day. Just made my day. You made my day. You made my day.
Grab your juice, grab your vape, it's time to get this party started.
It's time for the Mixin' and Chillin' vlog.
Long-term study. No, it is not time for the Mixin' and Chillin' vlog. It is time for the thank you vlog. I was going to put out a video about this, but quite honestly, I figured, why not do an Ask Me Anything, do a thank you vlog and say thank you to every single one of you out there. And you're probably going, what the heck is this guy talking about? What's he thanking us for? Well, today was the day that I finally got an email from Google/YouTube/AdSense saying, well, you've made enough that you're eligible for a payout. And as I've mentioned before, the minimum threshold is $100. So I reached like $100.24 or some ridiculous figure, and finally am eligible for a payout. So what better way than for me to celebrate this than to thank every single one of you out there that continues to watch all the videos that I put out there, continues to come to the live stream and the vlog every single week. I want to say thank you. A very heartfelt thank you to all of you for this channel to finally reach that milestone. And you're like, it's only $100. What are you talking about? You probably gave yourself $50, you know, as a super chat before. Well, that's true. My wife has done that. But this is a milestone for the channel because, as I promised every single one of you before, whatever this channel makes is going to get reinvested into this channel to make better content for you guys, to make the videos better, to have more things to be able to do reviews on and stuff like that. So every dollar and every penny adds up and actually benefits you guys. I've got enough stuff here. I don't need anything else. I do this for you. I do this for all the smokers out there that haven't found vaping yet, or all the people that quit smoking with vaping and now all of a sudden they're facing some ridiculous draconian ban, flavor ban, or make it hard for you to get the things. So I want to be able to teach you guys, you know, how to use rebuildables and how to make your own e-liquid so you can be completely self-sufficient and completely divorce yourself from big tobacco. So I wanted to say thank you to all of you out there. And that's the purpose of today's vlog. And I'm going to show you what I got, because you heard Kenny talking about it yesterday, and I sincerely hope my audio is fixed. I had to revert the Wavelink software back to the previous version. Hopefully that fixed the stuttering problem. I didn't realize how bad it was, even on my microphone yesterday. Anyway, today's Prime Day. So naturally, I'm like, oh, this is going to be cool. I'm going to have a $100 payout. I wonder if there's anything that's on sale in my list that I'm going to be able to get. And you know what? It must be my lucky day, because I jumped over to Amazon, looked at my list, and the table that I've been waiting for and eyeing up for the past year and a half so that I could redesign this studio exactly the way I wanted it to be, it's on sale. I can't believe it. I got lucky. This right here is the table that I want to get. So I can legit take this L-shaped desk, turn it sideways 90 degrees, and then be able to take that one and put it behind there, and then rearrange these cameras so that I can have like a news desk, which is nice and clean. It also is going to be able to empower me to be able to invite other people onto this channel so we can have guests on here and do interviews with other people in the tobacco harm reduction sphere, get their take on perspectives, and have conversations about the different things out there that are going on. How can we combat it? How can we get the right, you know, knowledge out to people, and especially to the politicians? How can we change their mind and get them to realize that vaping is a good thing? I mean, even when you're talking about kids, it's a good thing. It's diverting kids away from a lifelong habit of combustible cigarettes, like we did. Common sense as far as I'm concerned, but the long and the short of it is, this is the desk that I've been eyeing up, and it was actually on a Prime Day sale on Amazon for $275. And you're like, okay, you only got $100. That's not $275. Well, Amazon decided you need one more credit card, and if you sign up for this one more credit card, we'll give you a $200 gift certificate on your account. So guess what? I signed up for it, got the new credit card. They put the $200 in my account, and I fronted the remaining $75, which is going to be coming from all of your patronage through Google and YouTube, to pay for this desk. This is going to be the first thing in this studio after 3 years of making content and uploading it onto the channel. It's going to be the first thing that is 100% bought by you for watching and supporting this channel. Every time you gave a super chat, every time you bought a super sticker, or every time you watched a video and on the bottom it said thank you, you clicked on there and you said, you know, here's $5 or here's $10 for the cause. It finally added up to the point where this is now being purchased for the studio so I can rearrange this thing, make it a little more efficient, and enable me to put out more regular content. And quite honestly, I'm probably going to get back to doing the news. So you're going to start having, you know, the Global 20 News. I'll have a nice news desk, be able to do interviews with other people. And I just wanted to say thank you for empowering me to be able to make this channel even better. Never thought I'd see this day, to be honest with you. It was honestly getting to the point where it was like, you ain't never going to see a dime from YouTube on it. But thanks to, you know, all the copyright things, monetizing the last vlogs, that was the 24 cents that put me over the limit. And that plus the $2 super chat my wife gave me. Regardless, I'm grateful to all of you guys because you're the ones that are here week after week after week. And I truly wanted to express my sincere gratitude to every single one of you out there. So, today's thank you vlog is for you guys. Feel free to ask me anything. We can chat about whatever you want. And if you guys don't feel like chatting, that's fine too. I need to make another batch of my Hawaiian Punch because I'm almost out of it. And I got some music playing in the background. And Dusty, hello, welcome to the stream. Not sure why the welcome message isn't working and the printer's not printing. But I wanted to thank every single one of you guys for coming out today. And I want to thank you guys for watching all the videos I keep putting out there. I need to film the final thoughts for this Kylan 3. Finally found the way to get the coils in there exactly right. And now I see what Kenny was talking about, why it's such a good thing. Beautiful flavor. The other thing I'm going to be doing on there, which I haven't seen anybody else that has done this in their reviews. There's been a couple people that talked about it, but I'm actually going to put a 4mm coil in there to see how it works as a single coil RTA. Hunky Vape says that you can do that with this tank, but nobody actually tried, I don't think. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try that out and put that information out there and let you guys know. Is it truly capable of doing a single coil or a dual coil? Or are you just getting a bunch of washed out flavor with a single coil? Or does it improve the flavor over what a dual coil is? I'd be hard pressed to see if it actually does improve it. Because it's not like the other version of it, the Kylan Mini V2. That's the mesh one. Yeah, it was the Kylan Mini V2. That one was designed exclusively to be a single coiler. You take a look, even the airflow design on that. It was made for a single coil. And worse yet, because of the way that they put those screws in, the grub screws to hold that down, you have to wrap it a certain way. And when I made the coil the first time, well, it's wrapped backwards from the way that it would fit into the tank. So I got to roll another coil and slap it in there, try it out. Because the original coil that I put on there just had too much mass and I didn't quite like it. But I think now that I use that thinner gauge parallel Clapton compared to this one, I think it's going to work out much better. And that's kind of the whole deal here. I mean, basically videotape my experiences with these things and put it out there as a learning opportunity for you guys. So hope you're all having a fantastic day out there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Steve Vapes, I appreciate you coming out for the live. Sean Lynch, Free Ride Vapor. I gave everybody short notice. Awesome. That is so exciting to hear the feedback. Normally I don't get to find out about stuff until after the stream's over, and then it's like, Man, that sucked. My wife sent me a message yesterday, told me that the audio yesterday was all goofy and stuff, and I tried to fix it. I turned everything off, but apparently it didn't do it. So Elgato's wavelength software, this latest version, broke something. Because I reverted it to the last version and didn't change anything else. Unbelievable. So how about I pull up the recipe for this Hawaiian punch and we'll throw that together, and feel free to ask me any questions you guys may have. This is a rarity. You know, normally for the weekly vlog, I've got a format that we pretty much follow and, you know, you can juggle it around, but this is the first time I've done just a random spur of the moment vlog and went live and said, I need to get this out there. Thank you guys for your patronage. All right. So let's jump over to e-liquid recipes. Let's look at my recipes. And first thing I need to do is I need to make my wife a bottle for her pod. Let's see if I can break it now with this zoom in. Yeah, didn't break it this time. All right. So let's gather up these ingredients here. And actually, I think I'm just going to make her a 30 ml bottle of this. Absinthe custard. You mentioned that the other day. I need to add absinthe to my flavoring profile. My arsenal, I mean. All right. We're doing 12. We're going to make it out of a salt. And what's it saying? What's the ratio? 0.3 of PG. Well, that's because I didn't change in here. This is the 50-50 for salt. So how about that? Now you're happy. Yeah, of course you are. All right. It's so simple to change these recipes around. So like I make myself it in a 3 that I have in, you know, this bottle that I put in all of the little tanks that I'm jumping back and forth between. And then for my wife, she's got her little Max Pod and got her a 12 and she seems to like it. She kind of wishes that I would up the salt on there, but she says it's kind of already throaty on there because you know how it is. Women don't like to pay attention to little details like that, and she'll vape the thing completely dry and go, I wonder why there's no vapor coming out of this. I mean, if it's empty, it's not going to make anything. All you're doing is burning the coil, burning the cotton. Sure, we'll pull the scale out. Nice little recipe there. I'm glad we finally got this thing figured out with the audio. Beautiful. Talk about child-proof cap. Definitely. All right. So we're only going to need 4 grams, 3.6 milliliters of this. And because it's a 50-50, man, is it thick, and it takes a while to pull this up into the syringe. But as you saw, if I was using the other one, 100% mix, well, you get the PG-VG ratio wrong. All right, 4.13 is what we need to get to. And this is why I use the syringe and do the nick first. There you go. Put the remainder back in the bottle. Awesome. 1.5 mils of PG. It's 1.56 grams. What's Flavor Company? Flavors is a flavor company. They're out of Australia. They had sent us a bunch of stuff to try out and sample, a bunch of one-shots, and he had sent me a bunch of actual flavorings to try. And that's something that's going to be coming on Twitch. I'm going to be doing single flavor testing of every single one of these flavors that are out here and documenting that. That's kind of inappropriate content for YouTube, because it's going to literally take me hours upon hours. So basically, I'm going to be jumping on Twitch whenever I have some free time. We're going to start this single flavor testing and get everything documented on there, updated in ELR, and get that information out there for everyone else. So far, I found about 5% is the average for every single one of these. That's the benefit from the flavors company, is when they formulate these flavorings, they're relatively consistent. It's not like when you're dealing with Wonder Flavors, super concentrates. You can get some of them that you need to have like 2 or 3% flavoring, and some of them 0.5% is like really over potent and strong. So that's kind of the advantage to this particular company. All right. So we got our PG in there. We'll throw our apple in. .6. And I think honestly the first single flavor testing I'm going to do is going to be all the flavors that I'm going to need to make that Hawaiian punch, which is what I originally wanted to do before I just simply followed a food recipe and used flavorings to replace juice that would have made an actual pitcher of this. So apricot is our next flavor, and that's also 0.6. It's a very well balanced recipe, and that's why I was like, this ought to work very well if we tried to do that recipe for vaping. And quite honestly, now that I've made it in 30, 60, and 120 mil size, I definitely prefer 120 mil size. You have much greater flexibility, and you don't have to be so careful when you're pouring it. You actually do it a lot faster. All right, apricot. Now we need Capella's cranberry. Flavors doesn't have a cranberry flavor, but this one I found is very accurate. And we only need 0.3 of this. And this is such a juicy mouthfeel. Not too sweet, and plenty of curiosity, because especially I've noticed, like yesterday when we swapped and opened the mod, this Sigelli, top one, it accentuates different flavors, kind of like how different RTAs and different tanks can accentuate different flavors, like more accentuation in the fruits versus the custards or vice versa. It's delicious. And the thing is, as your coils start to build up that little bit of crustiness to them, when they're not exactly fresh, like a week later, it kind of alters the flavor profile, and it'll start hiding certain flavors and accentuating others. Delicious. All right, golden pineapples next. .6 of this as well. Oops, went over here. Next is guava. Also 0.6. And if you're good at math, you don't have to keep tearing it out. You could just simply go until you hit 1.2, because that's 0.6 times plus 0.6. And if you happen to be a little over on one, like I am on this one, I could have compensated for it by cutting off just a little short. But next is mango, and then mango jam. And these ones I did single flavor test already. And because I'm like, what is the difference between mango and a mango jam? And it legit is. The mango one gives you like a fresh fruit flavor. And the mango jam does give it that sweet, sticky feel while giving you the mango flavor as well. And there's 0.3 of each of these. The first time I made this, I made it with just mango. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Since these flavors are so close together, why don't I split that? And instead of putting in 2% of mango, I just put 1% of mango and 1% of mango jam. And it actually is different than just using the single flavor. I've noticed that with a lot of other different flavors, regardless of what flavoring company you go to. It's kind of like a monotone or a singular perception. Grapes are good for that. You can get a grape that tastes like a grape juice, or it tastes like, you know, the grape flavor you would get in like a bubble gum that was, you know, a grape flavored bubble gum. But none of them actually taste like a grape. Doesn't give you enough of that juicy, wet mouthfeel and the subtle grape flavor to it. They're all like concentrated. So 0.3 of this as well. Yeah, I'm over a little bit. But you know what? The other thing about this is going over just a little bit on every single one. Being that this is going into my wife's pod, it's better to actually have a little more flavoring in there than less. And that's something I've showed you guys before, is how to go on there, click on the little cog, the little wrench in the corner, and you can adjust the total percentage for your recipe with the single click of a button. Right in there exactly what the percentage is. Like right now, this one's at 19%. I could go into the recipe and convert the recipe to be 25% total flavoring if she wasn't getting enough of it in her pod. And that is a very beneficial feature of it, which I didn't find on all the flavors. Next, we have orange. Orange is in there at 2%, and that's also 0.6. Actually 0.59 if you want to be technical, because this is a very thin flavored liquid. I'd be willing to bet this is just propylene glycol and citric acid. But I don't know. All right, 0.6. What we're shooting for. One drop sometimes all it takes. Knock us over. All right. Passion fruit. Also 0.6. And we're just going to go to 1.2. Do the math in our head instead. All right. Now we need regular pineapple. This is at 3% or 0.9. And then all we need is 1% of super sweet. And that's going to be 0.32. Awesome. Give that a little stir, because I got some of it out on the display. The orange is very potent in there. But trust me, when this recipe is done, let it sit for 12, 24 hours, and then just ready to go. VG's 24.2. Awesome. Done, just like that. And there's the recipe for anybody that didn't catch it the first time. It is public, the original version that I mixed up. Just search for Hunky Hawaiian Punch and it'll come up for you. Piece of cake. And because I have Alzheimer's, I do need to print the label right now. So what are you guys up to today? What are you vaping on? How about I ask you that instead? Privacy or something. So let me ask you, what are you vaping on today? I got a boring answer. Hunky Hawaiian Punch. In the Arbiter. And the Arbiter 2. And in the Kylan V3. Now, flavor-wise, the Arbiter 2. First place. Second place, Kylan V3. Third place, Original Arbiter. Airflow-wise, what's perfect for me, the Original Arbiter. Second place is Kylan. And third place is the Arbiter 2. Oh, man. Even Notepad isn't working right. Copying stuff from half an hour ago. Piece of cake. So what we got out here? Do you think the Kylan is better than your Arbiter? It depends on how restrictive airflow you would like. It has better flavor potential than the Original Arbiter. However, it is very finicky. If you watched the show earlier in the week, I talked about how I cut it to the 7 millimeters that the box said in the little cutting tool that they gave you, right? And I just wasn't getting good flavor out of it. It was very restricted. And long story short, I dropped it to 6 millimeters, and now all of a sudden it's fantastic. I also did put a set of coils in, since I've gone through 3 of them already, and I put it in at 5 milliliters, and I totally get why Legion Vape, Steve, said that it had spongy airflow, because if it's at 5 millimeters, it's a very spongy airflow. So you also have to factor in that The original Arbiter, you drop those coils in, you could be off a millimeter up or down. Not an issue. As long as you thin the wicks on them when you put the wicks in, thing works fantastic. Very easy for a beginner, and I would highly recommend it, as a beginner device. The Kylan you have to be a little more finicky with, but once you get it, it does reward you with a little bit better flavor than the original Arbiter. The Arbiter 2 is just as easy to put coils in and wick as the original Arbiter, and gives you even better airflow, but at the cost of just a little less air. Even better flavor at the cost of a little less airflow. Rhubarb custard. Awesome. We made that. Wasn't a custard, it was rhubarb cookies. Advocate for Liberty, I think, came up with that recipe. And that's actually a really good flavor. And it's not sweet. You can legit tell that it is rhubarb. Juice Man says it's strawberry milkshake. That's a classic. A lot of people love strawberry milkshake. Strawberry milk or Nesquik is a favorite of a lot of us because, when we were growing up as a kid, it's what we drank. Come on, take 2 seconds longer and put the label on right. There we go. There, all ready for the wife. She went to the Post Malone concert tonight. So, that'll be ready for her tomorrow. Vanilla tart, vapor vanilla tart. To me, that sounds like a fantastic flavor. Trying to do that DIY would be a challenge because obviously you would want the vanilla to be forefront and you want it to have enough sweetness that it doesn't overpower the tart that it sits in, the little cookie or cake or crust that envelops the tart. Absent custard. Matter of fact, I'm doing that now. I'm putting that on my order from Bull City Flavor because the nice thing is, since I fronted this $75 for the desk, by the time it gets here, my wife's going to forget about it. So when that money actually goes into the account, I'm going to place an order from Bull City Flavors. Who else has suggestions out there for flavorings I need to add to my list? The Creme Hild RTA with rebuildable mesh coils. I have that one. Matter of fact, I'm going to have to put that on next week's vlog as our retro vape. I had it, and originally when I did it, I couldn't get the tank apart. And after the show was over, I obviously pulled the instructions out and sat down and took a look at it, played with it a little bit, dropped a little VG in there, worked it back and forth, and finally got it open. So we'll have to do that this week. Actually try out the Creme Hild RTA with the rebuildable mesh coils. I ordered a stack of them when I saw that they had that. Because I'm like, man, if you have a rebuildable that legit creates a coil that you can rebuild, that's exactly like every other stock coil on the planet, it's got to be a fantastic vape. Pam Spraggins just got here, and you missed it. What'd you miss? This is a thank you vlog because I finally, after 3 years, have reached the threshold for Google/AdSense/YouTube to give me a $100 payout. So, using the advantage of Prime Day, I finally got something, because I told you guys before, I am going to invest everything that this channel makes into making the channel better. Placed an order for this desk. So I can finally upgrade the studio to the original layout that I wanted to have in here. I kind of got that same layout right now because over here off to the side is the little fold-out table that I have my other ingredients on. So it's kind of the layout that I wanted, but I need to turn everything 90 degrees. And when I turn it 90 degrees, well, then it's going to allow this entire back wall to be flavors, not just the ones that you see from here forward. It'll let the other 3 racks go over there. And then I can also stack up racks into the corner because I'm actually out of space. I'm going to need more racks. And these ones are pretty nice because I can legit mount it to the wall, especially going up the wall in the corner. And it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. It gives me more places to store flavoring, and it breaks up the sound in the corner. So that sound treatment panel I have there can actually get moved over to there. But this is a thank you vlog to thank every single one of you guys for watching this content and supporting this channel. So that's pretty much it. I really want to thank all of you guys for all of your support, putting up with me, getting on there and bitching week after week when I was doing the news. Once I get everything redone in the studio, and it's going to take, what'd they say, 2 weeks before I actually ship this desk. It's going to take a little while to get everything set up on here, but then probably next month, I'm going to start doing the news again, even if it's just once a month, just to put the vaping news out there. It's nice to take a break from advocacy every once in a while. You just get upset and mad all the time. That's not good for your mental health. So that was also one of the reasons why I didn't do it. It wasn't just that, it only got 120 views. There's more to it than that. I mean, it's not worth the mental anguish I was putting myself through to drove through all the bad news out there. It's hard to find wins. I've even thought about, I had to knock a wall out for flavors. Listen, I've seen some pretty wild setups that people have. They legit take an entire room and they line every single wall. Like my wife has a craft room in the room right below us. And I've put tons of shelves up for her because she has this monthly glitter subscription where they send her like 10 different colors and 10 different styles of glitter every month. And she puts them in shaker bottles because she makes custom cups. Like here's one I have on the wall. And this is essentially just a stainless steel cup that she takes and she puts glue on, puts the glitter on. She has them on tumbler turners. And then once the glitter is dried onto the glue, then she puts a coating of epoxy over it. And then she'll put vinyl lettering on that she uses her Cricut to custom make. And then puts another layer of epoxy on, sands it, polishes it, and sells it. That's her little craft. I've got vaping as my hobby. She's got tumblers and crafting is hers. But I've seen some people that get into DIY that do some really crazy stuff. Like this is nothing compared to the stuff they do. They have those full-size floor-to-ceiling shelves you used to have for like storing VCR tapes. And it's nothing but flavoring. Literally, they have like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 flavors. You can get crazy into this stuff easily. But my goal is, other than a couple things, if I find a recipe that, somebody makes that's really good that I want to try and make myself, my goal is to get a single flavor test done of every single flavor I have right now. It's like 420. And then once I know those flavors and feel confident in my knowledge of them to, throw recipes together on the fly, like Wayne does on his shows, then I'll start adding more flavors to the arsenal and like broadening the palette. Some of these ones, I only have 1 or 2 of the flavors, and I know that other flavoring companies make that flavor. And I've learned the hard way. Capella flavors are not like TFA flavors. They might both be like pineapple, but they don't taste the same, and they certainly don't mix well with other brands sometimes, or other flavorings. And sometimes there's only one flavoring that works with that recipe blend that you already have created. It's kind of mad scientists playing in the lab. Sometimes you get lucky like I did with my Hunky Hawaiian Punch. And sometimes I know people that have gone through 20 or 30 different variations of a recipe before they finally get it to what they were trying to achieve. That's something that I try to convey to everybody when you're doing DIY stuff. Go on there. If you're getting started on it, find a recipe that looks very appealing to you. Buy the ingredients for just that recipe and try that out. And then, next month, when you got a little extra cash laying around, place another order based on a different recipe. And then after you do that 4 or 5 times, hopefully after 4 or 5 times, you'll find one that you can use as an all-day vape and then never purchase e-liquid again. And then all that money that you were spending on commercial e-liquid, well, now you can spend it on flavors instead. Because base PG and VG is cheap. Wow. I was mad at that tank for weeks before I finally got that coil height right in there. That's something else I do differently than a lot of other people is I'll keep working at something because you and me know that when we go and spend our money on something, it's not like we can go and return it because it doesn't meet our expectations. It's not like, you bought a clock and you take it back to Walmart because it was the wrong color or didn't work right. When we order vape stuff, especially through the mail, and even most vape shops won't take it back once you've opened it and used it, just because it doesn't meet your expectations. Unbelievable flavor on there. So, coming up on the 1 hour mark, I really want to thank every single one of you out there for all your patronage and all your support. I'm going to keep doing this until I can get this legalized with everybody else that's fighting the advocacy sphere. Those of you that aren't on Twitter, if you got an extra couple minutes every week even, doesn't have to be every day, to get on there and try and correct some of the misinformation that's out there, jump on Twitter. Or if you'd rather not be bothered by it, that's fine. Come out and hang out with the vape family when we do our lives. It doesn't matter whether it's me or anybody else out there. Jump on the show, interact with the people, and believe me, you'd be surprised how many people you'll recognize in the chat talking away when you do this. I wish I had more time to participate in other people's stuff like I did when I first got started, but I'd never make a single video if I did that. So, I want to thank every single one of you guys for coming out today and helping me celebrate. And let me show my sense of appreciation to all of you. Stay tuned, because in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be transforming this set once again. Rotating this desk around. It's going to be fun for me to try and figure everything out. Hopefully I have enough cabling to make it all work. But it is going to be changed around. And then hopefully next month, I'll be able to put out another Global 20 News. Drop some science, some advocacy, and throw our 2 cents in on the prohibitions and how ridiculous they are and how big of a failure it is. Australia just baffles me. How can a government ban something and then think that, well, the solution to it is to ban it again? Just a little different way. The whole reason for their black market being so big right now is all because they tried to force everybody to a prescription model. That's not how the world works. Thanks, Dusty. Very much appreciate it. Awesome. So I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. We're going to wrap it up for today. Once again, thank you very much. And my wish is always peace, love, and a hunky vape to end cigarette combustion. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a fantastic day.